When a company right at the heart of global travel has a massive quarter, it tells you a ton about the state of the whole aviation industry. Today, we're going to break down the powerhouse Q3 2025 earnings from GE Aerospace. And wow, the numbers are impressive. Let's dive in. All right, let's get right to the good stuff. There's really no burying the lead here. GE Aerospace had a phenomenal quarter, just completely blowing past expectations. We're going to kick things off with the big, top-line numbers that really tell the story. I mean, you don't get much clearer than that, right? The company's chairman and CEO, Larry Culp, straight up called the quarter exceptional. And when you see these numbers, you totally get why. This quote really just sets the stage perfectly for the performance we're about to unpack. First up, revenue. We're talking a 26% increase year over year. In an industry this massive, that kind of growth is just staggering. It points to some incredibly strong demand for both new engines and, as we're about to see, all the services that keep the world's fleets in the air. And that revenue growth, it's flowing directly to the bottom line. Adjusted earnings per share, which is a really key indicator of profitability, jumped a massive 44%. So the crucial thing here is they're not just selling more stuff, they're actually operating more efficiently and more profitably. That's a huge deal. And here it is. This is the number that really gets investors excited. $2.4 billion in free cash flow. This is just a huge signal of financial strength. But what exactly does that term even mean? Okay, think of it like this. After a company pays for all its day-to-day operations and invests in keeping its factories and equipment running, this is the hard cash that's left over. It's what they can use to pay dividends, buy back stock, or pour into future growth. So a strong free cash flow, like this one, is the sign of a very, very healthy, well-run machine. And this quarter wasn't just some lucky break. Nope. It was so strong that the company is officially upgrading its expectations for the entire year. They're basically telling the market, hey, this wasn't a fluke. This is the new standard. Let's see how they're pulling it off. So where did all this incredible performance come from? Well, it was basically powered by two main drivers. First up, we've got the absolute giant in the room, the Commercial Engines and Services division. Now, what's really interesting when you look at this chart is just the sheer scale of that jump. We're not talking about a small little increase here. Revenue in this one division shot up by almost $2 billion in a single year. It's the perfect picture of how hot the commercial aviation market is right now. And when you dig into the details, you see growth just everywhere. Services, which is all about maintaining the huge fleet of engines already out there, is of 28%. That's because more planes are in for shop visits, and there's a huge demand for spare parts. And at the same time, deliveries of brand new LEAP engines are up a stunning 40%. I mean, they are firing on all cylinders, literally. And this isn't just abstract data on a spreadsheet. This slide shows you what it looks like in the real world. A massive, massive order from Korean Air for over 100 new Boeing jets. And guess what's powering all of them? A mix of GE's most advanced engines. This is how those financial results turn into the actual planes we see at the airport gate. But commercial flying? That was only half the story. The second engine of growth was GE's Defense and Propulsion Technologies division, which, you guessed it, also had an absolute blockbuster quarter. So the revenue growth here actually matches the commercial side at 26%. Pretty great. But look at the operating profit, up an incredible 75%. That huge jump in profitability shows they're not just fulfilling more orders, they're doing it with remarkable efficiency. And the reason for that growth? Well, it's crystal clear. A massive 83% surge in the number of defense engines they delivered. This just reflects a huge ramp-up in production to meet the demands of government programs and international partners. Okay, so we've seen the what, these incredible numbers. But what about the how? How is GE Aerospace actually managing this level of growth and efficiency? Well, the answer really lies in their core operating philosophy. They call it Flight Deck. It's their own internal system for running the whole company, and it's built on the principles of lean manufacturing. But notice the order: safety, quality, delivery, and then cost. It's a really customer-focused approach that's all about getting things right first and then figuring out how to make them efficient. The CEO credits this very system for their ability to speed up output and drive these results. A quarter this strong isn't just about winning today. It also gives the company the resources and the momentum to build for the future. So let's take a look at what's coming up next on the horizon. This slide gives us such a fantastic glimpse into both the present and the future. On the left, you've got the GE9X, the world's largest jet engine, getting put through some brutal durability testing. That's the powerhouse for the next-gen Boeing 777X. Then on the right, you see a concept for the RISE program, this radical open-van design that's aiming to be over 20% more fuel efficient than even the best engines today. And believe me, they are putting their money where their mouth is. We're talking about investing around $3 billion every single year in R&D. And it's leading to these huge wins, like a new deal with Cathay Pacific for more G9X engines and hitting major tech milestones, like completing their first supersonic flight tests and partnering up on hybrid electric flight. They are literally inventing what comes next. So why does any of this matter to you and me? Well, it's pretty simple. GE Aerospace powers a massive portion of the planes we all fly on. Their success means more reliable, more efficient engines, which helps create a healthier, better global travel industry for every single one of us. This quarter really shows a company that is just firing on all cylinders, meeting record demand today while at the exact same time designing the aircraft engines of tomorrow. It kind of leaves us with this fascinating question to think about. As this technology keeps accelerating, what will flying actually look like in 10 or even 20 years? The plans are being drawn up right now.